Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Marshall back with Bids and Offers. I want to make this video showing you guys exactly how to look behind a candlestick chart just like this one on any instrument in the world, ES, gold, a stock, a cryptocurrency, whatever. How to look behind that candlestick chart and figure out where the large market participants are priced in the market in order to defend price at certain levels. For example, I'm going to jump right into it with this drop at the 9:30 open today on the S&P 500 futures. You notice that there's this massive red candle that comes in. Price drops from the 54s down to the 44s in a matter of seconds. Okay, there's about 20 seconds the market sold off 10 points. What do we know is going on behind this price action candle to tell us that there may be a very large buyer or seller present in the market? Just because the market goes down or goes up quickly does not mean that there are a lot of orders or a lot of volume coming through the market in that instance. We can use Bookmap to look behind these drops and these rallies to figure out who is priced into the market and where the buying and selling is. So before I get into anything, follow me on my Instagram right here at Bids and Offers. I'm almost at 900 followers on here. A ton of videos, tons and tons of trade recaps, education about order flow, about price action, strategies, and technical analysis, mainly using order flow on the futures. Before I get into the nitty-gritty of this over here, what we're going to be going over today, what is a candlestick chart? It's historical price action data, as you can see here. All it shows you is that there was an open, a high, and a low, and a close of a certain time frame of a certain instrument. A bar with little to no volume may look the exact same as one with tons of volume, all right? There's always something happening behind the price action that traders are unaware of, and when looking at a price action candlestick chart alone, you don't know who is priced into the market, you don't know how aggressively the bid is getting hit or the offer getting lifted, you don't know if there's a massive 5,000 lot bid sitting down here waiting for the market to sell off into it and trap all those sellers. You don't know anything without the order flow. So there's two sides of the order flow. There's the tape and there's the level 2, okay? The tape is a literal receipt paper, just like this one. This is just an example screenshot because the market's closed right now. Actually, it just opened up at 6:15 p.m. But anyway, this is just an example of the tape. This is a receipt of all of the orders coming through the market that get executed, okay? It is a purchase. It is not a pending sale. It's not an order that's in the order book. This is volume that is coming through the market in real time that is executed. Somebody is either lifting the offer or hitting the bid. Okay, in this example, offer lifting would be this green, hitting bid would be this red. And I'll show you what the order book looks like. This is an example dome. This is a super dome from NinjaTrader. I use NinjaTrader for all of my candlesticks, all of my order flow tools, except for the Bookmap, which I'll get to in a second. And I use it for all of the basically everything else other than the tape visualizer, which is Bookmap. This is one of the super domes that they offer. And as you can see here, we have orders sitting on the bid. These are passive buyers sitting in the market below price. And these are passive sellers with offers sitting in the market above price. Okay? A market only has two types of participants, passive and aggressive. Passive participants sit on the limit. They sit here and they wait for the market to come to them. If I put an order in right now at 36 and the market's at 38, I'm not going to get filled until the market sells off into this 36. Vice versa, this 40 up here, if I'm put an order in to sell at 40 and the market's at 38, I'm not going to get into my sell order unless the market rallies up into that and a buyer buys into my passive sell order. The passive participants in the market put their order in and they wait for the market to come to them. Aggressive participants in the market either take the next highest price at the offer, they purchase from a passive seller at the next highest price. The difference between that and the highest price a passive buyer is willing to purchase for is called the spread. Typically, the spread on ES, S&P 500 E-mini futures is anywhere between a tick and 2 ticks. It is one of the most liquid markets in the world. Even in after-hours session, it's 6:15 p.m., 6:17 p.m. here in America, and there's still massive bids and offers sitting in the market. There's already a couple hundred volume just sitting in a 4-point price range in the market after hours. So in the New York cash session, very, very liquid market. But anyway, this is what this morning consolidation looked like. You see this consolidation just after this drop. Okay, as the market's selling off, you can't see really much. All you can see is that the market stops at those 44s. Buyers come in, it looks like. There's a green candle, right? VWAP is supported. That's our first piece of context. Second piece of context is we had PPI this morning at 8:30. When that data came out on this 8:31 bar close, it popped all the way up to these 65s, right? This is a demand zone in here. Buyers popped it through this zone entirely. Anywhere from the 46s to pretty much these 42s to 40s, I would have expected buyers to jump into the market. So what can you see behind this candlestick chart on the heat map? You can see this. As soon as the market sold off aggressively down into these 45s, 44s, buyers showed up. You can see this right here. Buying showed up quite aggressively. This green bubble is representing an aggressive buyer in the market, somebody who is lifting the offer, and this red bubble is showing you an aggressive seller in the market, somebody who is hitting the bid. Okay, this is aggregated data. The Bookmap shows you this receipt tape of all of the orders that do get executed in the market. You can see those right here, all the orders that do get executed, and all these little lines above price are offers, passive sellers, and the lines below price are bids. If you are bidding, you want to buy the market. If you are offering, you want to sell the market, but you're doing it on the limit. If you're lifting the offer, you're an aggressive buyer, and if you're hitting the bid, you're an aggressive seller. Pretty simple. Only two different ways you can get into the market. This drop shows selling, and then bam, buyers show up as soon as we come down into these 44s, okay? Now, as we start to consolidate, there's some bidding going on in the market. You can see these lines start to form here. You see this 117, 115, 120, 130, 100, 110. You see all this bidding going on here. And now, as soon as we break beneath this low, first thing we see, bam, some buying. Pops the market right back up. Now, this is showing me the active tape behind this price action curtain in real time. This VWAP got defended right here at 65.44, and the market popped up quite aggressively off of that, like immediately at the open. Price then sold off once it double topped here, kind of faked out this previous high at the 54s and sold off back to get defended again by buyers down here. I'll show you what that looks like on the tape. We pop up right here. We pull back down into this level. Sellers become trapped yet again. This big red bubble indicative of a massive seller hitting the bid, but he cannot get the breakdown that he's looking for, right? You could play a trade right here, finding the first buyer in the market or the second buyer on a pullback, right? Into this area that has already been defended before. The tape tells no lies. If there are buyers getting in the market, you can join them. You can create setups around that. But you cannot see this stuff on a regular candlestick chart like this. These charts aren't bad. They're great for pieces of context. They're great for knowing where the market has been, right? But they do not show you where the market may go. I'm going to show you an example of a standout order. This was a standout offer. 123, 121, stacked offers up here. The market was rallying up. There was buying. You see this order sit here. Ever since about 9:54 it came in. All the way towards 10 o'clock as this buying came in, this order sat right here. As you notice, as soon as we got up above this order on this rally, price kind of stops out at these 56s. It starts to consolidate above where this offer got filled. You can target these orders. These are large participants in the market. This is a large seller present in the market. He is willing to put on, or he or she is willing to put on 123 or 130 contracts. That's a lot of money, at least to me. I'm trading with one contract, two. I've only ever traded with two contracts before. Better yet, 130. So that's a lot of money. And if you want to know where people are positioned in the market, well, you have to look at the tape in the order book. So this is a very, very, very great tool. It looks a little funky. I know, but it's a fantastic tool for beginning to understand what goes on behind this candlestick chart to then make educated guesses with real, legitimate tape data on scalp trades and swing trades. At least that's the way I do it intraday, trading the S&P 500 futures. So I'm going to bring this doc back over here for a sec, and I'm going to show you something. This is my ebook. It's coming out very, very, very soon. It's going to be all about scalping futures with Orderflow setups, risk management setups, psychology, my exact trade playbook and chart template. Very, very, very jam-packed with goodies in here. It's going to be out very, very soon. The wait list is currently active. The link to join it is in the description of the video. The link to join the live trading room is also in the description of the video. Very valuable stuff that we talk about there day in, day out. So basically, I'm going to talk about who is getting paid for the risk that they're taking. Who is getting paid? If there are sellers in the market selling the market down here at the 44s, but there are passive buyers in the market absorbing those sellers, every time the market sold off down into these 44s, 45s, some sellers got absorbed down in this area. You see that these sellers at the low, sellers are betting on the market going down. If the market's not going down, they're getting screwed. They're not going to be very happy. What the Bookmap allows you to do, see in real time that order visualized. It's hard to track this all the time with this, okay? These are great tools. The depth of market and the time and sales are excellent tools, but I think that the Bookmap visualizes all of that in a much better way, in a much more efficient way, so that we can look at it quickly on the go, and you can even look back at prior history, right? You can look back at historical data. So you can go all the way pre-market. You know, you can look at what happened on the tape beforehand. You can see if there were any standout orders or any massive orders that did get filled, right? This was a 166 bid that got filled right here at 53. It's nothing too crazy, but you know, it's maybe something to note. Look at exactly where the market stopped out at on this rally. Look, pretty much right at this level. Above that level, there wasn't much more buying. What I really, really like about the Bookmap is it allows me to see where the buyers and the sellers are getting paid and not getting paid. So as you can see in this consolidation between 937 and about 945, these sellers in this entire consolidation, anywhere below like the 49s, did not get paid. Dip, bought up, dip, bought up, dip, bought up, dip, bought up again. Right? Bought up again right here. The market just immediately rallied up out of that area where these buyers were present from earlier. This candlestick chart does not show you that. All you can see is that there's a green candle at VWAP. You don't know if there's any buying pattern there. You don't know if there's a massive bidder. These sellers here, and you know, if you were to sell like a breakdown of this previous low, you say, oh look, price double topped. Here, ready? I'll show you what it looks like in real time. Oh shit, price double topped. You know, now that we're selling off to this previous low where VWAP was before, we're going to sell down through it. Well, that didn't really happen. The tape will allow you to see that action in real time to be able to make an educated guess on if the sellers are able to break it down or not, or if the buyers are able to rally it up or not. As you can see here, I'll show you this rally up right at the end here where we came into these 65, 62s. What that looks like on the Bookmap is this. You can see that there are passive sellers in the market here at the 60s and these 62s that stopped the buyers in their tracks. All right. So on this rally up, some buyers got trapped here, and then the market did rally up. So it validated this entire move. Now everybody in this move is getting paid except the sellers, right? Now up here, you see that these passive sellers are starting to step in. Passive sellers are stepping in right up above this pre-market high, or this pre-market pop up. The real high was actually the PPI high at 65. You know, all you can see on the candlestick chart is that, oh look, we made a head and shoulders, right? We made a head and shoulders and price can't really get past this level, so I'm going to sell it. It's going to go down. You don't really know what is going on without looking at the heat map. Okay, some of the best trades that I've taken, which by the way are going to be showcased in the ebook and in the live trading room all the time. So if you want to see those, please sign up. The links are readily available in the description and on my socials. All of these best trades that I've taken have used Orderflow and the tape, like Bookmap, the time and sales, the order book, to confirm that aggression in the market that I can put myself on the right side of. If I know there's massive selling in the market, but it's not going down, I'm going to wait for the first sign of buyers. When the buyers jump in, you know, I might want to join them. Vice versa. If the buyers are pushing all day, and we come up into this area from yesterday, the supply zone, where the market is sold off from so aggressively, like say, for example, this supply zone right here, you know, we get above it, sellers show up, and it sells off from that area. I can look at the order flow and confirm that pressure in real time and know how significant it is. Look, on this third pop up here, there was virtually no buying after that. The buying basically dropped off. As soon as we made this little high at the 61s instead of the 62s, there was nothing left, and the sellers started to come in and just pound it down. And as soon as this 180, 190 bid got filled right here, the sellers came in even more. You know, you could join the selling here and speculate that it's going to break down. Vice versa up here. You know, if the buyers get above these offers, you can join them, speculate on it going up. But you can't know where the large participants are in the market without looking at tools like this. Candlestick charts will not show you that, and it's not going to show you the emotions, right? It's not going to show you the emotions and the character of the order book or the tape, okay? It's not going to show you anybody putting up walls. It's not going to show you emphasis on larger orders. I put emphasis on larger orders because that's what stops people in their tracks. If there's somebody bidding 1,000 contracts, that's going to be 1,000 sell volume that's going to have to go and hit that bid. You know, that can stop the market, but you cannot see that when you're just looking at this. You know, if you want to, you can use the dome and this at the same time, but you got to get pretty good at visualizing it and getting it, paired together. I just think that the Bookmap is a great tool to help, visualize that data. And you can even look back at it historically. You know, I can look at all the tape data and all the order book data for the entire day, literally on my screen, chart style. Let's get into the Bookmap settings real quick. I actually made a video in the past on my Bookmap settings on NinjaTrader, or on my NinjaTrader and Bookmap settings. That YouTube video is a little bit old, but we're just gonna run through it real quick. Connections, I use Bookmap data, just ignore this. I was trying to connect it, it failed. I use Bookmap data, it's like 34 bucks a month. I do not have basically any add-ons other than this Trader Map Lite. Okay, the Trader Map Lite is the only thing that I use, and it's on standard. It just helps make these passive orders a little bit more organized. I just use Global. I don't use Global Plus, so I don't have the depth of market built into this. And I think there's some indicators that I can't get, but I don't really mind. I'll probably upgrade at some point. Let's get into some of the visualization settings. So the first thing I want to show you guys is the brightness right over here, heat map dimming. So you can dim and brighten the heat map over the actual tape itself. So this is the tape, and this is the tape with the heat map built into it. So this is just essentially how you control, how much of that you want to see, how bright it is. This shows you all of the color temperature settings for the heat map. So the darker, the more red, or the closer to the really dark maroon, the larger the bid or the offer. And then closer to the dark blue, the smaller or more insignificant it is. So over here, what we have is the transparency. So it's kind of annoying having this all the way down. I usually turn it up to filter out pretty much every order that's really any less than like 80 or 90 contracts. I turn it, sometimes I have it like here in certain market conditions, but most of the time I have that turned all the way up. I just look at the standout orders and the areas where there's multiple orders, or a thick batch like this. Right here, volume dot size. So this, you can make them big, you can make them small. All this does is filter out certain sections, and basically you can filter out the size of the trades that you want to be looking at within that tape activity. So if I make this a little bit bigger, you'll see all this failed selling effort beneath 65.48 from this dip between 9:38 and about 10 o'clock, and then above that you see these buyers failing up here around this high, and then the sellers coming in, and then offers moving down. But yeah, there's really not too much to Bookmap. It's really simple. Over here you have the cumulative order book. So if I go to real time right now, this is the active order book. As you can see, these numbers are moving. You will see the same exact data on the NinjaTrader order book. You'll see the same numbers. It's all centralized data from the CME exchange, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And then that you have the session volume profile over here, so you can see the entire volume distribution curve over the past session. It's basically all I've got on Bookmap for right now. wap.com/bids and offers is where you can access the Orderflow trading guide, the wait list to join that. Also, I'm doing a very limited number of 1-hour private coaching sessions where we can talk one-on-one, talk about all things trading, go over trades, go over technical analysis, psychology, order flow, risk management, whatever. I'm not going to be doing many more of these, but some people are really liking them. And the trading guide is going to have so much stuff on order flow, risk management, psychology, trading setups, my exact playbook. And you're basically going to learn how to read the heartbeat of the market and draw the relationship between price and volume to enter the market just before it moves by minimizing drawdown and maximizing risk to reward by finding those participants in the market in areas like this, and knowing who is getting paid and who is not getting paid on their intentions. Okay, I go over the Bookmap, I go over the footprint charts, I go over the time and sales, psychology, why I don't take certain setups, why I do take others, pretty much all of that. That's all I've got for today. The link to join the live trading room is also in the description of the video. Everything will be in the description of the video. I really appreciate the support that I'm getting from you guys, and some more videos will be coming out soon, showcasing some more trade setups and going over some more educational things about order flow. So I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you guys for all watching, and subscribe if you have not already, and leave a comment down below. I will answer everybody. Peace out.